All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. And I wanted to get this update yesterday, but was busy with family and dealing with some other things. And so I took the day off from pretty much social media altogether and just kind of got away. And I have a feeling I'm going to start doing this just about every weekend, where there won't be a whole lot of content coming from me on the weekends unless there's something really big. But I wanted to do this video, and I'm not going to be showing any pictures today, but I wanted to talk about the state of Warner Brothers Discovery, Warner Brothers in general, and DC Comics, and just the lack of quality everywhere. And this video is going to be a downer, and I'm just letting people know right now. And I am not just a fan, but also a consumer. If you saw the amount of toys and comic books and things that I have, which I will be showing to people when I set up memberships, I'll start showing some of that stuff. I'm not your casual fan, but I am very much a consumer. And if I'm going to spend my money on something, I'm going to expect quality out of it. And what I'm seeing right now is the lack of quality all the way around. And let's talk about DC Comics real quick. I want to get this one right out of the way first. So I am catching up with everything. I was like 2 to 3 years behind on all of my titles, mostly Batman stuff. World's Finest, Batman and Robin. It's most of what I collect is, well, all of the series that I collect all revolve around Batman, who is my favorite character. And, you know, I just got done reading a storyline that started out great and then fizzled at the end just because of what they did with it. And this story actually happened in 2023. It was in the Batman title. It was Failsafe. And boy, did this story start out great. And then it just got really ridiculous towards the end when Batman had to go into outer space. And then the secondary story, well, not the secondary story, but the story that's following up, I'm just starting it. And he's like stuck in this other universe, and I'm not feeling these storylines. They're not engaging. The Failsafe storyline was great up until the last issue. The sixth issue in this 6-issue storyline really dropped the ball. And the common theme amongst everything that I'm going to be talking about today is, where is the quality control? Where are the people sitting down together saying, yes, we'll do this, no, we're not going to do that, and making sure that they're putting out a product that people are going to want to consume? So comics, outside of that, like I'm about to start, when I'm done with this secondary storyline, the second half of the whole Failsafe storyline, I am going to be getting into Night Terrors, and I don't know what to expect with that. I haven't read any reviews or watched anything. And then I'll be getting more to the current stuff that we're doing. But I'll tell you, for comics, if you want something that's been consistently entertaining since it got released, was World's Finest. If you haven't been reading World's Finest and you're a comic fan, go check out World's Finest. And if you can go back, get the earlier issues, like it's been consistently fun. It's a good comic. But outside of that, things have just been not so good. I think Batman vs. Robin was pretty good. But that whole storyline that came out of that, Lazarus Planet, was awful. Beyond awful, stupid. Did not enjoy it at all, and I read the whole freaking thing. And yeah, what a waste of my time. So where's the quality? Where are the people in there making sure that what they're putting out is something people are going to want to purchase, especially longtime fans? And it's sad. So let's talk about the movies. Or not the movies, the games. So I just started playing this weekend Arkham City. I played it when it first came out, and this was a long time ago. I was working at Nabisco at the time, loved this game, played it. It was my least favorite out of the Arkham games, but it's a lot of people's favorite. And I just started it. I put about 4 hours into it over the last couple of days, and I look at what that game is versus what they just put out with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and what the heck has happened to Rocksteady and the quality of the games. Now, here's the thing about the new game. I don't own it. I've only watched some reviews and some cutscenes. But what I will tell you is, yeah, The graphics are better. The quality looks much better, but the detail is missing. The grittiness to it is missing. Again, I compare it to going from something like what we got with Zack Snyder, what we got with David Ayer, what we got with Patty Jenkins, to going over to somebody like James Gunn. The quality just isn't there. The detail, the quality isn't there. It's smooth. It's on next-gen hardware. It looks great. But if you compare the Jokers and you compare the Batmans, how do they go from, over 10 years ago giving us something amazing to what they're shoveling out there today? It's like they're throwing this stuff out there. And not only that, but the quality control of the games. People paid extra money. They paid upwards of $100 to have early access to the game. And a lot of those people, when they logged in, because you have to be connected to the internet at all times, when those people logged in, it showed that they had completed the game already and there was a glitch and they had to take it down and reboot it. What you basically paid for was to be a beta tester. In what business? That's like you going into a restaurant and they're testing out new food that may or not be good, and they're charging you extra for these new plates not knowing if they're going to be good or not. Who's going to go in and gamble with the money that they're spending or be willing to spend extra to get something that hasn't been tested yet? Like, to me, as a consumer, if I'm going to spend that much money on a product, it's got to be finished. It has to be finished. They would have been better off holding this game off. But I want to know where the detail went. Yes, the smoothness factor is better. Yes, you could tell that everything is smoother, high def, next gen. But the actual quality, the detail in the faces, just look at the Jokers, look at the Batman specifically. Like, oh my gosh, what the heck is going on? And then the worst part of this is this goes to what I was saying before, that the management down there at Warner Brothers, that people don't care about these properties. If you look at the cutscene specifically for Green Lantern, and you see when King Shark gets the ring, how he's able to use the ring. Look, I don't read Green Lantern religiously. I'm getting the titles right now, but I've only read the first issue. I've got not the titles, but the one title. I know enough about Green Lantern to know that you can't just put the ring on and have it work. You have to be worthy of the ring. Nobody can just pick it up and put it on. And for them to create a game and not understand the rules behind the characters themselves is a complete misstep. Like, all of these things are keeping me from purchasing this game. I was thinking about buying this. Like, the only game I bought day one, probably over the last 5 years, was the second Jedi game that just came out last year, The Fallen Jedi. The second game was amazing. I thought the first game was average, but the second game, I loved it last year. It was awesome. It was awesome. So some people are getting it right and making sure that these next-gen games are great. But this game, I won't even go anywhere near it. And they're shooting themselves in the foot. Where were the people from Warner Brothers sitting down with the writers of this saying, yes, you could do this. No, you can't do this. Where is the quality control? Where is it? It's like non-existent. It's non-existent. Which makes it less likely for people like me to even want to purchase products in the future. There are those of us that are day one type of people, and they're ensuring that we're not going to be day one people anymore. They're taking it all away. Now let's talk about the movies. So we had this John Murphy, who's going to be doing the score for Superman Legacy. People tried to argue with me on social media that this guy is a great composer. He has done a couple of great songs. I spent the weekend listening to stuff from Sunshine, listening to stuff from 28 Days Later. And yes, those were competent. Okay, I will tell you guys that some of those tracks are pretty awesome. But I'm going to point a couple things out. I am a Audible person. I collect musical scores. I've been a movie watcher my entire life. I've reviewed movies since I was in high school. I understand how important dialogue is, story, acting, music, like all of it together. And his music, while it's awesome, and yes, it has been used in many trailers, the themes play over and over and over again. There's not enough variety in there. He is a mid composer, and I'm sorry if that upsets people. It's just a fact. It is true. He is a mid composer. I don't dislike him, but there are lots of other people who should have been in line to do the composing of this music. You know, if you listen to Daft Punk's score for Tron Legacy, the whole thing is incredible. The whole thing is incredible. Junkie XL score for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Some of those scenes in there, my gosh, when the Flash goes through the Speed Force, you know, at the end to save everybody, and then you have at the end when he's running through the city, just the music that plays and everything, you just feel it. It was so well done. You've got people like Steve Jablonsky, John Barry. He's an old one. You've got my two favorite are John Williams. Well, my favorite, I have four favorites. My favorite by far is James Horner, but he's passed away. But James Horner was amazing at doing music. You have Steve Jablonsky, who did the Transformers movies. Oh my gosh, man, that music in those movies is amazing. You have Michael Giacchino. I'm not sure how you say his name, so I could be butchering it. But he did a lot of movies. My favorite being, what do you call it? How to Train Your Dragon. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, he may have done I forget those Christian movies. They did a series of them with the talking lion. I can't remember the name of it. Chronicles of Narnia. The music in that stuff was amazing. Like, there's all these people you could name off. Alan Silvestri. You've got all these names you could name off. And I got to be honest, I didn't know who John Murphy was. Didn't know. And I collect stuff like this. Like, that goes to tell you. And I could tell you that the music, the two newest projects that he worked on were Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and also The Suicide Squad. I don't remember the score in either of those movies. When I go to a movie and a score leaves an impact, I'll go out and purchase it day one. I'll go out and get it immediately. I don't even care about the Suicide Squad or Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't own the scores for any of those because the music is very generic. It's serviceable for the film, and this is the problem. They're not trying to make a blockbuster movie. From all indications, this is a budget film made for it's definitely not made for fans. It's being made for casual moviegoers who don't care what is being released in theaters, that they're just going to go on a whim. They're not making them for fans like I am. They're not making them for the fans who watch my videos. They're making them for themselves. And James Gunn seems to be the guy who's in charge of freaking everything. And it's going to be interesting to see whether Supergirl's in this movie or not, because he's made comments where he won't put a character in there just to set up another film. And we already know that they're going to start Woman of Tomorrow, probably in 2025, start filming it. And so why is he casting this character if she's not going to be in there? Why is the director of that film not doing it? And if she's in there, then he lied about not putting characters in there to set up another film. And also the whole cameo porn comment. Like, there's so much about this that reeks budget, that reeks, we're just throwing this out there. We're going to do it for a very small budget and just, it'll make $300 million and they'll call it a success. But that doesn't really make it a success, because I've talked about the whole ecosystem within everything that they do. These types of properties like Harry Potter, Transformers, Marvel, Disney itself, stuff like DC Comics. There's this whole ecosystem that goes beyond the movies. It goes beyond just what you see in film. It's a whole ecosystem of toys, comic books, novels. There's all this stuff that goes into it. And it's the fans like myself that purchase those things. If you're not doing these things to get those people, you're hurting your business from all sides. All sides. And it's unfortunate where we're at. People want me to be more positive with my videos. It's hard to do that when everything I see and everything indicates that this is going to be just another disaster waiting to happen. I hope I am proven wrong. I really do. I do have hope that Superman Legacy will be amazing. I would love nothing more than for something to come up there and make me forget about Henry Cavill, what the studio did with that. I am still pissed off about that. Many people are. And they've got to mend those breaks. They've got to fix all the issues that they've caused. And they've lost a huge portion of the fan base and the movie-going audience that was expecting to have Henry Cavill come back. And people can complain all they want that I'm stuck on Snyder. It's not about Snyder. It's not just about James Gunn. And for the people who complain that I talk about James Gunn too much, this is the guy who's in charge of DC Studios. He's the one out there that's tweeting and all over social media. He's the one that's writing and directing Creature Commandos. He's the one that's writing and directing Superman Legacy. He's the one that's writing and directing Peacemaker Season 2, and he did Season 1. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about him. You can't get around it. You cannot get around it. And everything right now is just very disheartening as a fan. It is. It's hard to be excited at all about what's coming up. And I'm going to continue to cover it, and I will give you my honest review on it. If Superman Legacy comes out and ends up being amazing, I will be the first one to yell at the top of my lungs and tell everybody to go see it. And yes, we can finally move past all the stuff that the studio's done, but I'm not expecting that to be the case. I don't want to get my hopes up only to be beat down once again. It's happened too many times with Warner Brothers. And if they totally commit to this thing and they move forward with it, and it ends up not being so good, that's going to be a problem. And, on that note, for people who didn't know, Argyle came out this weekend. I haven't seen it yet. And it only made $18 million over the weekend. And this movie cost $200 million to make. And Matthew Vaughn did say that this was going to be a trilogy. Well, it's not going to happen. I mean, the first weekend is the best. And if there's no good word of mouth, it's going to drop in its second weekend. Henry Cavill's in it for like 5 minutes. They said it is that's part of the problem with their marketing, is that they threw it out there like Henry Cavill was going to be in a lot. And there are a lot of Henry Cavill fans who would have gone to see it. But when they talk about butchering his, how much he's in the film and using him as like he's the main character and he's not, that's just, again, false advertising. And it's sad that happened. Now, Beekeeper's doing great by David Ayer. We'll definitely be getting more movies in regards to that. But this movie, Argyle, tanked. And what's funny is I did read the other day that Matthew Vaughn said he's going to be doing a new trilogy revolved around Kick-Ass, and it's a reboot. And they've already filmed the first film. It's going to be kind of hard to sell that to the audience if this movie doesn't do well. Like, the studio's going to be afraid to want to distribute it. So there's just negativity going all around right now. It's really sad. Now, the one good thing is I will tell you that if you haven't seen Beekeeper yet, go see it. It's an awesome time at the movies. When I go to the movies, that's what I want to do. I want to be entertained. I don't want some political message shoved down my throat. I want to go and have pure entertainment, and that's what movies are meant to be. So hopefully things turn around, guys. What do you guys think about everything that's going on with the comics, the games, the movies right now? Are you excited as a fan? Like, be honest. Like, what are your feelings on all of this? I want to know what people think. All right, guys, I do appreciate the support. We will see you with the regular updates starting tomorrow. Take care.